Hello everyone and welcome to the Man United Agenda, and yes, we will be previewing the West Ham versus Manchester United Premier League preview show. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. Hello everyone and welcome to the Man United Agenda, and we'll be previewing you the West Ham versus Manchester United Premier League preview game against West Ham on Sunday. So as always, we'd like to say on Monday, welcome.
Good afternoon, good evening, guys.
Good evening. Talk MU.
Yeah, big up.
And one word answer, Mr. B, welcome. And as always, we're always joined by this special guest who always comes on here. We have a laugh and then we see him in a couple of weeks' time, and that's none other than Jay Motti. Welcome back to the Man United Agenda.
Thanks for having me on, gents. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you. So, guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. And also, remember, we are giving you the chance to win yourself a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt once we hit 1K subscribers. At the moment, we're sitting on 550 subscribers. So hit that like, share, and subscribe button. So let's start off the show, guys, and let's talk after the aftermath. That's the past. Let's talk about the present and what's coming for the future for us. And the future is West Ham United on Sunday. I'm going to kickstart, as always, with Jay. Jay, Man United, poor result on the weekend, on the midweek, but we're not going to go into anything with it because that's a one-off game. We're going to go now and we're going to talk about what we can do effective to West Ham this coming Sunday.
I mean, it feels like I don't know. It feels weird. It feels almost like there's a little bit of pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer already, which is ludicrous because we're top of the league. You know, top of the league, and what we 4 games in or whatever in the Premier League, and yet because of the result against Young Boys, and because of the fact that we've had the summer we've had, and you've got players like Ronaldo and Varane, it feels like, I don't know, I feel like if we didn't get a result or we got beat, there'd be people questioning him more and more. Now, I think with any Manchester United manager, you know, you're always like 2 or 3 or 3 results away from being under pressure. You lose 3 on the trot as any United manager, post for Alex Ferguson, you can be under pressure. I just feel like with Ole, there's always been that element, and the fact we didn't get a trophy last season, it's even more so the fact we've spent quite a bit of money in the transfer window and brought in serial winners as well adds to that. So I think that whilst if we don't get a result, I'm not going to be calling for the manager's head or anything like that. That might be at the back of Ole's mind going into this game. I feel a little bit sort of not worried, but feel like this could be a cagey game. This could be a game where it's difficult because West Ham are a decent team. They've been flying high under David Moyes. Very difficult away from home as well. We've had a mixed bag at West Ham away, haven't we? I think one of Jose's last aways was when we got beat there. We going back even further. I remember when we in the Upton Park days. I remember going to Upton Park and watching us get beat 4-0 there once in the League Cup, which was a horrible, horrible evening. But more recently, it has been a ground where you do have to dig deep for a result. So, with all that being said, I still fancy United to win. I still think we've got enough quality. You look at our 11 compared to their 11. You look at the fact we've got real world-class talent. And no disrespect to West Ham, other than maybe Declan Rice, you could push it. I don't see they've got anyone who I would put in the very sort of top elite footballers. They've got good footballers, the likes of Ben Rama and the likes of 1 or 2 others. But I don't know if they've got any elite players. So, yes, it'll be a tough game. And, yes, Ollie is under a bit of pressure. But with the squad we've got, we should be able to get a result at the London Stadium all day long.
like you just said there as well, Jay, it's almost like a lot of pressure for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to go into the game coming up on Sunday. It's only 4 games in. This is ludicrous. Absolute ludicrous, where fans already is jumping on the bandwagon. Social media is on a meltdown at the moment. Oh, Ole out, Ole out. Honestly, after 4 games we played, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why people are so quick to jump on it. And also, yes, we're Man United and we're a big club, but surely it's only 4 games.
So look, can I just say quick? I mean, listen, do you know what it is, don't you? Because we're talking about this is, we remind ourselves, we're talking about these clubs in world football, in my opinion. And for me, someone's put in a comment there about, we're talking about as if Ole's only been employed in the summer and blah, blah, blah. But I do have to see some improvements in terms of how we control the games. The game management is a big issue from what I'm seeing. But in terms of the game now, going into this West Ham game, this is where we're going to see the value of team spirit. And this is where we're going to see the value of all his man management skills. Because this team is going to go out there and they are going to give it their 100%. And it's going to be for me, we're going to win the games, no doubt in that. And it's going to be probably a great performance. So it's the inconsistencies that worries me. Why do we have these? It's these dips. These if Ole and the coaching staff between them can somehow get rid of this like sudden drop in form, so to speak, then I think we've got a much better chance. And I think Ole will give himself a much better chance as well. So again, as we talked about the other night, whether this is a disparity between Ole and the coaching staff, what's going on between the relationship between them, then getting it across to the team, who knows? I don't know. I can't really put 100% say that's exactly what's happening because obviously I don't know because I'm not there, I don't work there. But there is quite clearly it's gone.
Is he gone?
You got it there?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Just finished with a bang. Yeah.
Yeah, so wrong.
I just add to that. I think West Ham is going to be, when I'm thinking about it now, it's going to be a difficult game. Obviously, David Moyes, all credit to him. He's gone away from United and got himself together, and he's come back, and he should be proud of himself to turn that team. Because I'm looking at the lineup of West Ham. Look at their centre backs. They haven't got well-known big names there, but they still seem to be doing something right. So fair play to them. It's going to be a really difficult game to beat them, I reckon. But like Jay said, I think we've got a better quality of players. I just want to see us create a lot more chances in a sort of a typical fashion, consistent fashion of creating chances, whether it's the fullbacks getting overlapping and whipping in balls. Because Ronaldo will finish his dinner every time, I'm sure of that. Feed him and he will definitely score for us. So I just think I want to see more chances, more pressing in their half, more play in their half, and put them under pressure and show. And the players will step up then, definitely. But sorry, just going back. Last game, let's get over the last game. 10 men, plastic pitch, whatever. Let's move on. I think we can still qualify, but sometimes you need that slap just to get your motivation up again. So I think they'll be on it and hungry again.
I mean, look, I look at it like this. West Ham last season did what they did. This season they've started with confidence, but let's be honest, Moyes only plays one way, and that's defensive. So unless we go out there to press, then it could be a really, really boring game. I hope Ole and the players have got a rocket up their backside from the last game that they played, and they do play with that. At the end of the day, the problem I think we play with no tempo. We play with no tempo. It's 3 touches from the centre-backs, 3 touches from certain midfield players, and then you're expecting a bit of individual magic. If we can start popping off the ball, use West Ham for God's sake. We're already top of the league. Will we stay there? Who knows? But it's West Ham. Let's be serious. Look who we've got in our squad. And one player in this squad will get into our team. No disagreements? There we go. Yeah, Declan Rice. Apart from that, we've got 10 better players than they have. Cristiano Ronaldo is better than everything West Ham have had in their whole history. Yeah, we've got Paul Pogba. You've got Bruno Fernandes. I mean, these players only played half a game. They're running around on a plastic pitch, so they're going to have their energy. My issue and my biggest worry, or the question that I'm going to ask you guys, is, do you think Van der Beek? I would like to see Van der Beek start this game just because I don't think he was given enough of a chance in the week to maybe prove himself, and I think he was a bit unlucky to be hooked.
But Mr. Beek, can I just say something? But you know, not the other night, whenever, last stream, whenever, when I was talking about learning in-game from your mistakes, you know, we've seen Donny make more than one mistake in games. It was that tackle that he did in an area that was no concern to us whatsoever. He's going in making a crazy tackle like that. It's your feet. You're thinking, what? Why do you need to do that? You got to think. Use your brain. You're supposed to have a good footballing brain. Not just that. And then the highlight I pointed out again in that game where he took the ball from a dangerous area, then give the responsibility to somebody else to say, right, it goes to the midfield. Now you go and send it over to the left, and he's pointing to the left-hand side of the pitch. You're going, wait a minute. You're supposed to be a creative player. Why are you not looking here? Use the space in front of you. That's what you do. Then look for somebody as a runner. But no, he just totally pushed the ball out and said, right, it's away from me now. I don't have to worry about it. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that as a no. Then you don't think Donny should be started, no?
No. Jay, go on, Jay. Talk to us. And then I'm going to go to Jay because I've got something to say about it as well. Jay, Donny Van der Beek.
I've said this a million times, and you know, I'm one of the few United fans who's not a Donny Van der Beek expert. I only go off what I've seen for Manchester United, and the jury's still out for Manchester United. I need to see more of him, and it's a mixture of both. He needs more chances, but he needs to take the chances he's given, because I think that people will say, well, he hasn't had any chances, and that's not entirely true. He has. You know, he started a few games, probably not enough, but he started against Leicester in the FA Cup, didn't do himself any favours. Started against Leicester in the league, for example, didn't really do a lot. Was a bit unlucky, perhaps, against young boys, because I think he would have got more game time if it wasn't for the sending off. So, you know, he has been a little bit unfortunate in the sense that we've not seen more minutes. I think he only started around 4 Premier League games last season. But when he has played, I think there's never been a point where I've said, oh, Donny Van der Beek has done something that's amazing, has done something that makes me think he's got to start. And I think for me, Donny Van der Beek probably operates in one of those positions that Paul Pogba or Bruno Fernandes can operate in. A lot of people saying, oh, you could play in the 6. And I think he gave an interview saying that he's played in the 6. And from what I know of people who've watched Ajax fans say he can play there, but that's not his preferred position. And I think a lot of the time people want to see him in the 6 because they're just fed up of seeing Fred there, rather than knowing that Donny van der Beek's a great player in the 6, because that's not his position really, is it? So the thing with Donny is, I think he just suffers from the fact that he's behind 2 of the best midfielders in the world in his best position, in Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. You look at both of them. Bruno Fernandes has got 4 goals this season, and Paul Pogba's got 7 assists. Those are ridiculous numbers for midfielders. You know, Paul Pogba's broken the record for the amount of assists, and Bruno Fernandes has scored 4 goals from open play, no penalties, and he's banged in 4 already, which makes a mockery of the whole, you know, Bruno Fernandes nonsense that we hear. So Donny van der Beek's having to sort of be a bit of a square peg in a round hole and go, okay, you know, maybe I can play deeper or whatever. Is that his best position? Probably not. So I'm with you kind of thing, because I did my predicted 11. I think maybe Donny might get a chance against West Ham. I think he might, but it's going to be difficult for him long term, or well, I say long term, I mean this season, to break into this team, because I actually think we've got an abundance of riches in the front 5, and I don't know where Donny van der Beek fits into that. I just don't. I don't think he plays on the wing. That's not his position. He's probably a 10. We've got Bruno Fernandes. He's pretty much nailed that position down. Maybe he can play a little bit deeper, not as a 6, perhaps, but more of an 8 alongside someone, but getting forward. Paul Pogba can do that. I know he's shifted Pogba over to the left, but we've got Marcus Rashford back in training, and that's his best position. So I just think Donny's going to have to sort of feed off scraps almost, feed off these little sort of cameos he get. And he's going to have to make the most of it. He's going to have to do something to really impress. And that's not easy. It's not nice. But that's what he's got to do. He's got to try and force his way in with 1 or 2 performances and maybe just hope he gets a little bit of luck. And when I say luck for him, I mean bad luck for someone else. Someone else gets, you know, an injury or suspension or whatever, and he takes the chances that he's been given. Because at the moment, I think he's sort of, until Jesse's mistake against Young Boys, and I put Lingard ahead of him in the pecking order. I think Lingard was probably, in Ollie's eyes, you know, more likely to get a start. We saw it against Southampton where he brought on Lingard. He didn't even use Donny van der Beek. So I think it's difficult for Donny van der Beek. And I just don't see how he's going to get into this team at the minute, because I think part of the problem is he's got two of the best players in the Premier League in front of him in his preferred position.
You're right with that as well, because for me, with Donny van de Beek, obviously, I'd like to see him play a lot more for Man United, but the more and more I'm watching and the more and more I'm reflecting on what's going on at Old Trafford, I don't even think it's anything to do with trust. I just think it's the application in training, what he's doing in training for Lingard, player like Lingard, to be above him. So, like you said, JD, you got Pogba and you got Bruno Fernandes. Unless something seriously happened, Donny van de Beek, I can't really and truly see what he's going to do. Because I was listening to his interview today, even so with Dallo, and he was saying the same thing. Dallo, technically, everyone thinks he's going to go on loan in January, but he's not going anywhere in January. He's staying. So again, will Van de Beek be at Man United in January, or will he be going on loan?
I think part of the problem is, like, people just get so fed up of Fred, don't they? They do. Like, they go, oh, you know, put Van de Beek in there, put Ronaldo in there, put the tea lady in there, put anyone at number 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they're so like, oh, I can't be watching Fred giving the ball away anymore. But you have to be realistic about it and just say, you've got Michael Carrick, who's one of the best defensive midfielders of all time on the coaching staff. He must see Van de Beek in training. He must see what he's got. He must know whether that's a kid that can play in a 6. And if he doesn't know that, then I don't even know what Michael Carrick is doing, because that's his forte. That's his expertise.
Sorry to cut in on you there, Jay, but that's exactly what I was talking about before in terms of the disparity between Ole and the coaching staff. If Michael Carrick is seeing exactly what you just said, but then he can't communicate that to Ole, or Ole's not taking it on board, then there's a clash in there.
My point is, maybe he is seeing that. Maybe he's seeing that Donny van de Beek isn't a DM. So he's saying to him, you know what, this kid hasn't got what I had, or what you need to play in a defensive midfield role. I don't know. This is conjecture. I'm not privy to the machinations of the coaching staff at Old Trafford. But he might look at it and go, he's not a 6. He ain't. Because we all come on here, right? And apart from, is it Mr. B who loves Fred? No. Oh, sorry. That was a massive insult to you.
Yes.
You're mentally unwell. No, but apart from Errol, most United fans I know say, Fred, they see what they see him giving the ball away, they see it, like, Ollie sees that. Ollie sees it. He must see it, because we all see it. So the only reason I think that he doesn't put Van de Beek or whoever in front of him is because he doesn't think Van de Beek can do the job. I don't think Ollie's wants to get himself sacked or lose games. He must just look at it and think Donny van de Beek can't play as a 6. And from the sort of noises I've heard from Van de Beek and from others is he has played as a 6, but that's not his position. That's not where he does his. That's not what he was best at Ajax, and that wasn't why we bought him. We didn't buy him because he's a 6. We bought him because he can play off a striker or as a 10 or as an 8 or whatever. So I think that's the big problem for me. Is I think people look at it and go. I've even seen people say, bring back James Garner from loan at Forest and put him in there. Carrick put his boots back on. Just anything other than Fred. We have to be realistic. You know what I mean? Like, whether you're a Fred fan or not, you have to have an element of trust in someone like Michael Carrick. You can see Donny van de Beek and go, he isn't a 6. He might be a 10 or an 8, and he might get a chance. But I just don't think he's a 6, because I think if he was, he'd have been given a chance by now.
Can I share? I think there must be a pecking order in this midfield, because, like Jay said, Lingard came on in that game ahead of Van de Beek. And so Van de Beek must be down the pecking order, whether he has to prove it in training to move himself up, or whether I think there's an issue about maybe it's a soft touch and then get away with not playing him. Because I do think he's talented. I was watching Ajax yesterday. He's come from that's academy. He comes from that school of football, and they were just free flowing. And I'm watching him think, oh, wish we could play like that. Goals galore, nice passing it in. The guy Haller, who used to play for West Ham, actually, just getting fed each time. And it's so open, so clear, some simple goals. Just want to see chances created like that. Some nice brand of football.
Monday, that's the thing with me is what worries me is like I said, is that there's no identity in terms of being able to control the game, and we dictate when what the other team do by controlling the tempo of the game, and we don't seem to have that. And we, considering the midfield that we've got, especially, you just think, hold on a minute, how can that not work? You got like Paul Pogba, he'll shield the ball against the bus. Bruno Fernandes, great, put the ball anywhere, and
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one of the big worries for me. One of the big concerns.
Who watched Solskjaer's interview, the pre-match
Yes.
West Ham? So he was just quickly saying about midfielders in his day. He mentioned Brian Robson, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane. They could do everything. So he said he's looking for someone to be able to do or combine everything. And I thought that was like, I was thinking, oh, maybe McTominay, he's sort of siding or trying to give an impression that's him. So I think Donny van de Beek maybe has to sort of add a little something to his game and should be a complete midfielder, because I think we're pigeonholing players too much. Oh, he's DM, or he's a box to box, or he's you should a baller. If you're midfielder, you're a midfielder. In 4-4-2 days, you had to get in there and do a job. You know, that's my thing. So we got a lot of midfielders. I think Donny is a talented midfielder, just playing. And as regards to West Ham this weekend, it's going to be a tough game. So he gives us something extra that we can consider.
Let's go to Mr. B now, because Mr. B is sitting there quietly. With talking about, I don't know if you saw the obviously interview with it, but I was just going to hit on what Amanda's saying about having almost a complete midfield player. When I was listening to Ollie at first, I was thinking, when he's saying the football's different these days in his interview, it's almost like, at first I thought, wow, he's having a dig. But then I realised, no, we at Man United right now, I don't think we've got that midfield player who could be a Scholes or could be a Roy Keane. Even going, not talking about Man United, but talking about your Vieira, your Lampard and stuff like that. It's almost like we're missing something massive from it at the moment. I don't know what your thinking is with it, whether or not you think we have got the midfield player, but they're not stepping to that level at the moment.
No.
Mr. B, mute.
Oh,
I love it when he...
Sorry. We've seen enough of our midfield to know that it's definitely not the Brazilian. He's not going to try Van der Beek. So are we then now all of our hopes on McTominay because he's not playing? Because let's be honest, when they were both playing, there was an issue with both players. Sometimes players become better players by not playing. If you see what I mean, all of a sudden everybody's going to be crying out for McTominay to play. You know, at the moment, I mean, on Monday, as much as I do like to dig you sometimes, you talking about a philosophy and a system of play. I really want to tell you to shut up, but the more that I think about it and the more that I see what's happening with other teams around Manchester United, even down to Mr. Moist. As much as I don't like his system of play,
Mr. Moist.
Mr. Moist.
I won't call him by his name.
If you watch this football and getting moist, you've got issues, bro. He's Mr. Dry.
Oh dear. Mr. B, what have you got? Right, what have you got? Books? Do you read books? Because you're reading the wrong books, mate. Mr. Men, right? Forget about Mr. Men.
Hey, I must have been watching something different in 2014.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Oh, right. Composure.
Where were you?
Even David Moyes, as much as I don't like him, has a style of play. I don't like it, but it's a style of play, and I'm beginning to wonder if Ollie has. Still don't doubt it. I still have no fears about the game tomorrow. I have no fears about the game tomorrow. I mean, he might even go 4-3-3. He may even go 4-3-3 tomorrow. But it's not a game that I'm thinking, oh, God, it could be a banana skin. I'm expecting us to go to Upton Park. I'm expecting us to go to West Ham and take all 3 points.
Yeah.
Good.
Brilliant. So, guys, we're going to come to the second part of the show in a minute. But if you like it, please share, please subscribe. We're the Man United Agenda, and we are giving you the opportunity to win yourself a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt. Once we hit 1K subscribers, we'll be doing a live draw on this channel, and all you have to do is hit that subscribe button to win your shirt. Okay, so on Monday, could you do me a favor? Can you go through some of these comments, and then after the comments, we'll utilize some of the comments, the relevant ones, and we'll hit it to the panel.
There's a lot of comments today, Solo.
Okay, we'll hit this couple.
All right, Rich Sports. Hi, Rich Sports. How you doing, man?
Rich Sports.
Everyone tune into Rich Sports channel. Great stuff.
Yeah, we got Rich.
So he's saying West Ham playing tonight. Obviously, they're playing. Is it the Europa League they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing. They're all winning 2-0.
I think they're winning. Yeah, okay. So well done, West Ham. Amy said, "Good evening, gents. How you doing? On the spot. We'll be back soon, hopefully." Talking Prism says, "Big up to Jay. Jay, that's for you, man." Rich Sport. Okay, here we little shout out. Still annoyed at the draw that gave Blackburn the title. Me too. Yeah, who remembers that when we went to West Ham? We got a draw.
Oh,
couldn't break it down.
You know what? I have nightmares about Ludek McCloskey, you know. Seriously, to this day, that man haunts my dreams.
I think that's where Glenn Hoddle got that quote about Andy Cole not scoring his or finishing his dinner at chances, because he had a lot of chances in the game. It kind of stuck it. I remember that was talked about a lot. Andy Cole was anyway. Osman says, "Why were you pretending that Ollie was hired in the summer? The guy's been here for 3 years. Fans are upset because of the Champions League result, about how Ollie failed." So fans are upset not because of the Champions League result, but how Ollie failed over and over for 3 years. I think we made gradual improvements, haven't we? Yeah.
We've got the players to me, and at the moment we've got to back him. We've got to give him the opportunities. Only 4 games of the season. Come on, man. Reality.
All right, Wes said West Ham played a strong lineup earlier today. We're playing currently now, and it might have.
Welcome, Wes. Welcome.
Ashan says, "What's up, brothers?" Ashan United from Twitter here. How you doing, Ashan?
Yep, I recognise him from Twitter. Big up.
Let's go. Barbados Phil. How you doing, Big Phil? He says, "I think each season Ollie's expectations changed." Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
West Ham will be tricky, but we'll pick them apart and find the space. Okay, I like that. Ashan. Andy Herbert, how you doing, Arsenal fan? Said he blames talk. Stay out of the stream. I've seen him at Sky Sports News. Went around to his house, interviewed him, and got to say, "Look like Mr. Bean." Okay, he's bantering.
He's a lemon. He's an Arsenal fan. Get on your bike.
All right, I'm not going to say the name for this guy, but he says, "I'd rather lose the first game in the Champions League than the last one." Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Fergie's team had plenty of slaps, and got back up. Yeah, that's true. I have to remember that. Remember 4-0 against Barcelona one time, man, when we got back in the Champions League. That was really rough. Ashan said we need to play a little higher line and quicker. Yes, I agree with that. Big Phil says caretaker manager finished up 2018 season, first full season, clean on the stench left by Jose. Clean up the stench left by Jose, plus bring players to fill positions. Second season, same as season before, plus improve the squad. So that's a progress report from Big Phil. People acting like after one loss, like Alex Ferguson never lost a game. Donny van der Beek retained the ball well, more than anybody else. I think he's referring to the other day. We are our favourite goon.
Thank you.
Funny, I've seen it in Donny's game. I don't know what you're referring to there. Bruno shirts. Oh, hi, De Silva. He says, the League Cup game is the following after the Sunday, is it on the Wednesday?
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Anthony wants the Bruno Fernandes shirt. Well said, Jace. Says Barbados. Phil says Donny being behind Pogba and Bruno is just a situation that he's been dealing with, almost similar to when we had Gerard Piqué. How do you break up Vidic and Vidic? Hannibal will come and take his place. Everyone's impressed with Hannibal, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I see him training with the first team a lot. Akil says, Ollie will not risk playing Donny in this game. I think he will go to the same team that played against Newcastle, and maybe Delot will get a chance. Can we talk about Delot in a bit? I like Delot. I like what he's doing. And Ollie mentioned him as well in the press conference. Jay says, I cannot make up my mind whether Donny is too quick with feet and play for us, or is he scared to hold it? Lads, give me a clue. I just think his IQ is miles ahead. Cosman says, at Wes, they're having a little discussion here. We got battered by 6-1 by Tottenham, and they played in the League Cup. And he's talking about West Ham won't be fatigued. They'll be okay. Hi, Daniel. How you doing? Ollie has a good squad, but I think his tactics is the question to be asked. Hans says, my God, our fan base is not very good at understanding football. He's embarrassed. Oh, dear. Oh. Andy Herbert says that Andy we'll keep going on about that shirt. Just give it to Andy, man. Just hush him up. Ollie says, I can't wait to get McTominay back, as he would do much better. He is better at being a box-to-box player, and there's nothing yet to say as he can be, and has nothing yet to say as he can be a CDM. Just be a midfielder, guys. Come on. All right, these little highs, just winding down now. Coach staff's not good enough, says Ahil. That's the major problem. Okay, let's just go through. All right, here we go. This is a good one. We can control the game with Matic in midfield, not with Fred and McTominay, because they are not good at passing the ball. Their strength is breaking up play. That's an interesting point. In my opinion, it's Matic, one midfielder. Second is Fred. Is that what he means? So Matic first, McTominay second, and Fred third.
Third in
that order. Okay. Jem says Moyes is winning. Mondi, it's the same team you played against Young Boys that started against West Ham. Your bananas, you think Donny improves the starting 11, says Adam. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm dead.
Hey, you sidestepped that one, didn't you?
Go back up one more.
I'm not.
Yeah,
The one female here is a bit moist from Moisey. Anyway, let's just move on now, because Gemma, you always give me the banter. Let's go.
Yeah. If you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. Win yourself a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt once we hit 1K subscriber. At the moment, I believe we're on about 550 subscribers. So hit those subscribe button and help the help the group to grow. So I'm even thinking the moist thing in my head at the moment. That's terrible. So get out of my head. It's disgusting. So guys, what we're going to do now is in your comment, please put down what you think Man United starting 11 will be, and this is Solo's prediction starting 11, and we will talk about it with the guys. So let's see who agrees with me and who doesn't.
Start rubbing them hands together, gents. Rub your hands together. Here we go.
What you got, Solo? What you got?
Right. So this is my 1 to 11. Jay, let's move this off the screen. Let's start off with Jay first and stop this banner from running across the screen as well. We'll start off with Jay first. So Jay, this lineup, what's your changes? Any changes you'd put in it, or?
I'm just trying to find, right. We did our So we did our 11 for on the channel today. I'm just trying to see what my difference is between you. I had us actually as a 4-3-3.
Okay.
I had Donny van der Beek. I had Fred, Bruno, and Donny van der Beek as the three in midfield, and I had Pogba on the left. I had Ronaldo up top, and I think I had Jadon Sancho on the right. That was how I had it as my predicted 11. So it's not too different. I think, the back five obviously writes itself. Some people may be saying Diogo Dalot coming in. I don't think that's going to happen, and I feel like that'd be like Ollie punishing almost Aaron Wan-Bissaka or knocking him when he's down. I'm not sure that's Ollie's style. So I think the back five will be what it is. David De Gea's been in very good form as well. I think Fred might get a start because of his energy, because, regardless of whether you're a Fred fan or not, he gets around the pitch a lot. There's question marks about McTominay's fitness. Matic, okay, he didn't start in Switzerland, but he came on. So, I don't know, maybe that's going to play in Ollie's thinking as well. He played against Newcastle. Can he keep playing Nemanja Matic at his age? Does he need some sort of more energetic legs in there? And the good thing for me is there, looking at that, you've got Sancho, you've got Bruno, you've got Greenwood, you've got Ronaldo as your sort of front four. I mean, that is a pretty amazing front four. Let's have it right. 2 months ago, if you'd have been saying to me that could potentially be our front four, I'd have snapped your hand off. And we've still got Marcus Rashford to come back into this team as well. And we've still got Edinson Cavani to come back into this team. Yeah. I mean, this is why Ollie's under a bit of pressure, because when you've got those type of players, you have to be challenging for honours. You have to be. You cannot have the players we've got. You cannot have a defence of Shaw, Maguire, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka, and have an attacking options of Ronaldo, Sancho, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, Cavani, and have Pogba in your midfield and go, we're not quite there yet. You can't say that. So, regardless of whether you think we're going to win the title or not, we have to be challenging. And I look at that team, and I think it is a decent team. I do. I think it's a very strong team. My only question is, have we got any fatigue from Europe? Have we got anything of a hangover? Not from the actual traveling or anything like that. It's on a plastic pitch. I don't know if that takes anything out of you. The deflation as well of losing in the last minute sometimes can just be a bit sort of draining. And we've seen it before this season already. You know, when you look at that Southampton team that we drew to, I couldn't name you now 3 of them Southampton players. I couldn't if you asked me. Let alone even getting into our starting 11. So we have to be a little bit careful that we go, we're so much better than West Ham. We'll steamroller them because, you know, they've only got Declan Rice and, you know, maybe Souček or whatever. They haven't got many good players. You've got to be careful because every game is a difficult game in the Premier League. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. But like I said earlier, I still think when you look at that 11, even if you're to mix it up a bit, the players we've got at our disposal, we've got to be beating West Ham. We really have.
What would you think of, Jay, what would you think of just slightly tweaking that and putting Fred as a 1, Bruno and Pogba as a 2, and then just having 3 up front?
Yeah, similar to what I had. Very similar, mate. I had Donny as part of the 3, as a predicted, not as what I do, but was what I thought Ollie might do. And then I had a front 3 of Pogba had moved him onto the left wing almost. Ronaldo down the middle, and Mason on the right. Sancho on the right. Yeah, I think that you could do that. I think that could work. I think you've just got so many options now. The one question really is that midfield question. We've all been talking about it tonight. Can Donny do it? Can Matic do it? Can Fred do it? Can McTominay do it? I just wonder whether Ollie can really afford to go to the 2 holding midfielders. I don't know if he can play Matic and Fred or McTominay. I know McTominay's not fit at the moment, or McTominay and Fred. I feel like he has to go with 1 and then have, you know, you can have Pogba deep as you've got him set up solo, or you can have maybe, you know, Bruno in that role if you want or whatever. But I just don't see we can go back to what we did last season of having Fred and McTominay or Fred and Matic, because I just feel like you're taking too good a player out of that front 4 to do that. I just think that you can't afford to do that. You have to go for it a little bit more. That's for me, Jay. That's exactly the nail on the head, mate. Because, you know, Paul Pogba, between Pogba and Bruno, the creation and the ball retention there, it's crazy. You know, and then you've got Sancho, Greenwood, and then obviously Ronaldo, and then, like I say, if you had Fred just sitting in behind, but he has to be disciplined in that role. He has to be disciplined in it to stay in that role. But I 100% agree.
Can I add to this? Like, we're playing West Ham. West Ham, they got Mikel Antonio out of the game, so they're not gonna have someone sitting on the last man in defence. They're gonna play in Yarmolenko. Maybe he usually plays up front or sort of as a false 9. Like last few games, I've been calling for Bruno to, wherever he's positioned there, to drop a lot deeper and have his starting position in a 3. Okay, and sort of plays at 8. He's always playing so high up, like a false 9 or a second striker, and we have to reach him with that ball. And then if the ball doesn't reach him, then we got, as like we see against Wolves, we've got people attacking us, and we don't want our defenders backing off. You know, especially if the 2 midfielders are out of position. So I want to see Bruno starting, and I know I'm the only one who's really saying this, but people say, "Oh no, he's scoring goals, leave him up there." But I think we're exposing ourselves, especially against West Ham, which could be dangerous. They got so many good players in sort of attacking midfielders in that sort of position who are going to overload us there. So I want Bruno to be disciplined, have your starting position a bit deeper and a bit closer to the 2 Pogba or Fred, whoever it is, and then build like that. Because we do play a high line now. We've got Varane. We can push up. Once we've got possession in their half, we can start building up a bit, you know, but do it in their half. And I want Bruno to be a part of the build-up play, not just finishing stuff off or doing off-the-ball runs all the time. Because it's like you expected that one guy's got Pogba usually has got to pick him out. I just want to see us have more options. And if Bruno does come deeper, then hopefully the fullbacks will start pushing on as well. So Bruno, please drop off a little bit.
Mr. B, any changes you'd make to the sign up, or are you gonna pardon me, agree with me for once?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Solo. I disagree with you every week, and then you get the team right. So I'm actually going to side with you this week, although you know my opinion on a certain player, but I think that's the team that he will put out. Yeah, I mean, question. I know Greenwood's been playing really well on the left. I mean on the right. But wasn't the right Sancho's main position at Dortmund?
Can I just add quickly? He had 1.8 chances or something a game playing on the left and 1.1 on the right. So at Dortmund, he was more effective coming in from the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Green, obviously, I called him one of our own, and he's been on fantastic form this season. Jay, obviously, you've got Ronaldo there now helping him as a young star. Where can you see the future for Mason Greenwood at Man United in, say, the next 5-10 years?
I think Mason Greenwood can be potentially, eventually, not in the next 5 years, but further down the line, I think he's got the potential to be an all-time great. And, listen, I've been here before. I was the guy that said Terry Cook was going to be an all-time great. I was the guy that said Kiko Makeda was going to be an all-time great. I had Danny Welbeck on the back of my shirt for about 5 years. So don't take my word for it. But if you look at his numbers, look at him as a player, look at what he's got, look at his attributes, look at how he finishes chances that are just half chances. Look at the go back to the game against Leeds. It's a great ball from Paul Pogba, but the angle is so difficult and he makes it look so easy. You look at some of the other goals he's scored. He's been an absolute fire this season. I think he's got so many levels to go. And I'll tell you a little funny story once as well. I was in Ashton-on-Mersey school. I was shadowing one day as a teacher. I was a reporter and I thought I might get into teaching. And I was shadowing in Ashton-on-Mersey. And we're in the classroom and there's this kid there. And the teacher says, she was telling him off. And then he leaves. She says he gets to go early to train with Manchester United. She said, I keep telling him he needs to do his schoolwork because he probably ain't going to make it at Manchester United. And I said, what's his name? She said, Mason. It's Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood, yeah. Wow. So, you know what I mean? He probably was right not to be concentrating too much on history or whatever it was she was trying to teach. And I wouldn't mind. I was agreeing with her going, yeah, you're right. Most of them don't make it. But yeah, he's just a phenomenal talent. He's been a record-breaking type of player since he's been in the academy. You look at his numbers, they were ridiculous. Yeah. You look at the way he finishes, left foot, right foot. The only, thing with Mason Greenwood, keep him grounded, keep him injury-free, handle him the right way. I like the way Ollie's been handling him. And I think when you've got Cavani who looks after him, Cavani's like his minder, innit? I love that in Europa League last season when it all kicked off. And Cavani was like right in the face, wasn't it? What I loved about it was it all kicks off with Mason. Cavani gets involved, and Mason got off. He's like yeah, I was like me when I used to get in fights. And I love that, and I love the fact, if you look at the fact you've got Cristiano Ronaldo was 36, Greenwood's still a teenager. It's not like Ronaldo's coming in, he's going to be here for the next 5-6 years. He isn't. So hopefully we have a couple of years of Ronnie. Mason learns from him, and then in 2-3 years' time, Mason's the main man, maybe even sooner. And I think that obviously, I just honestly think the sky's the limit with the kid. I think he's just ridiculous. And I've got so much hope and expectations with him as well that, yeah, I think we've got a real gem there. Do you know what I mean? There's not many players that come in and do what he's done for Manchester United. And you look at him already, he's breaking records. He's at most goals as a teenager, beating the likes of Rooney and Rashford and Norman Whiteside and players like that. I mean, that's not a coincidence. And he's still got levels to go. He has. Yeah. That's a scary thing. You know what I mean? Look at this kid now. What's he going to be doing when he's 23, 24? It's an absolutely frightening prospect. So, yeah, as you can see, I don't really rate him.
Yeah, he's not going to make it as thingy.
Rubbish, man. He should have concentrated in history class. I told him.
Absolutely brilliant. Nice one for that story, Jay. Guys, if you like him, please share, please subscribe. We are giving you the chance to win yourself a signed Bruno Fernandes football shirt once we hit 1K subscribers. We're in about 550 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. We're the Man United agenda. So, guys, let's go into the last part of the show here now. We're going to talk a little bit about West Ham United, and I know we were saying earlier regarding we should go into this game because when we look at our team compared to their team, how sort of like we're levels above them. But the problem is David Moyes always has his team set out in a way to, it's almost like double block and then to get that counter attack. And with David Moyes' team, they always score 9 times out of 10 from set pieces as well. For us last season, that was what our problem was. We conceded from set pieces. Now, we've lost that game against Young Boys. We're going to the West Ham game. How do you guys feel now, sort of, do you think we ridicule the set pieces from last season and we can go in and control the situation at West Ham if there was any dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Go on, Mr. B.
Yep, I think have we conceded anything from any corners, any set pieces so far this season? I don't think so. We're actually looking dangerous from our set pieces as well. So set piece wise,
remember Fred's over there as well. Yeah, Fred's whispering.
You know what he's whispering? Don't you? Solo, he's saying, you know what? He says, "Why am I feeling a bit moist?" Something not right here. Something not right. You know,
Mr. B, you're living this one down.
It's madness when I come on the channel.
This one's not going.
It's usually Solo coming out of the madness. I remember the first time I came on this channel, right, this season, Solo said to me, "Jay, do you think we could have swapped Jesse Lingard for Jadon Sancho?"
Yeah. But you know what the funniest thing is, Jay? I was talking to Mr. B today and we were discussing it, and I said, "Don't worry, it's going to be me who says something stupid on the channel tonight."
Mr. B stood up there. He's like Cavani to your Greenwood. He said, "Come here, son. I've got you."
Put arms around you and that's it. Jesus. Guys, absolutely liking, sharing, please subscribe, get us to that 1K subscriber with the Mania agenda. We are going to ask for your score prediction, so if you're watching, please hit your score prediction in the chat. And let's start off with because we're going to wrap up now, let's start off with talk score prediction.
If we control that midfield, I think easy 2-0.
Okay, Mr. B.
2-0.
On Monday, 1-0, control the game.
Oh my gosh! How do you know that? Just get a voice box for me. Yeah. 1-0, control the game and control the pressure, and let's not concede.
Oh, and let's go to Jay. Jay.
I did say 1-0 on our preview that we did actually. I'd like to see a clean sheet. But I'll change it just so I can, if I do different predictions on different channels, I can pick the one that's right and clip that up and show it to people. Go, look, I got it right. I'm a genius. So I'll go one better than Mr. B and Solo. I'll go with 3-0. But I think obviously want to see a win, but I think defensively we should be able to handle West Ham, especially without their top scorer. You know, I want to see us solid defensively because I think, look at the Newcastle game. We were a little bit all over the gaff defensively. We got cut out a few times. And it's, you know, we need to be mindful of that. So a nice clean sheet, a decent away win, and keep that away record going.
Oh, 3-1, Man United. Always predict the 3-1. Always want to concede. Always see us conceding a goal. So Greenwood, I'd like to see Greenwood get one in. I would see Ronaldo. And I wouldn't mind seeing my boy Fred, if he plays, to get one as well.
He's got his annual goal already against Leeds. He's not due another goal now till 2023.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Do you think Wan-Bissaka is going to be going to ground as often as he used to after what happened? Do you think that would affect him? Do you think he would still be going to ground with the wrong foot and standing up, trying to stand up?
I don't think. I think. Listen, I think for me, it was a bit of a the whole team there was some lack of concentration going on, and that was exactly what happened with Jesse Lingard. It was a total lack of concentration. You're going to do that as a professional footballer, right? But I don't see that with Wan-Bissaka. I don't see him. I think he's more of a professional than that, to be honest with you. I think Ollie will definitely start him, and I think he'll that's history now. That's gone, and he'll just slip straight back in and do what he does.
He's known for going to ground all the time, going to ground, and the people are like, "Oh, well done, great tackle." Is that great defending?
If he stops, If it stops an attack and he can retain the ball from doing that, or put it out into a non-dangerous area, then yeah, of course it is. But if he's going to do that, and then it just sort of squirts out and it goes to an opposition player and they continue the attack, then no.
Jay, were you going to say something on it?
No, I mean, you look at him against Raheem Sterling is a great example. He goes to ground a lot, keeps Raheem Sterling very quiet, a player that's caused us all sorts of problems. I know he's not scored against us, but he's caused us problems. So like Salk was saying, I don't mind that. I don't mind players going to ground if they time it right and they get the tackles in. And I think he's very, very good at that. And I think it might be difficult to take that out of his game. I think you might lose something from him. You know, you look at was it the Wolves game where he did the clearance? I know it's different because he's not tackling, but he slid in behind David De Gea, makes the clearance. You know, he's very good at that, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So I wouldn't want to take that away from his game. He just knows, he needs to realise that when you're 1-0 up in the Champions League after 30 minutes, you don't need to fly in the opponent's half when you miscontrol it. He just needs to be a little bit more savvy there. Because I don't mind him going to ground, but there's a time and a place. And, you know, that wasn't it. But I'm with Talk. I don't think it's an issue. I think defensively, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of the best fullbacks in the world. Defensively, I really do.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe, hit that 1K, and once we hit it, we'll be giving you a football shirt. So, guys, let's wrap up now. Jay, where can we find Jay?
You know where to find me. You don't know where to find me by now. You mustn't have access to the internet. Don't worry about me. I'm over at Stretford Paddock, but make sure you're checking these guys out, man. I love coming on here. It's such a laugh. It really is. It's very serious when you chat about football on the internet. Everyone gets a little bit moody sometimes, but it's always a great laugh for you guys. You know, as I said always, you've always got a lot of positive things to say and a lot of like honesty as well. You know, you call it as you see it, and I love that. I know you call it a United agenda, but there's no agenda. I love that, and I love the fact that, you know what I love about tonight, right? Mr. B says David Moyes. No one even says anything. No one bats an eyelid, and I'm like, hang on a minute. What's going on? Make sure
it's a London thing. It's a London thing, man.
Is it? Yeah. Subscribe to these guys. They're always top funny. It's a great laugh. And I think you're going to be down there. You're going to be at London Stadium this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Come on, you're coming on our channel. We're gonna get a reaction from you guys on Stretford Paddock, yeah?
Thank you.
All you guys at Upton Park. We've got our presenter down there. She's gonna come and meet you guys. So we'll have a chat after the game. Good to hear your thoughts on David Moyes and his farming arm.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're watching, as what Jay just said, we will be at the West Ham game on this coming Sunday. So tune in. We'll be doing a live fans reaction through the game and then after the game as well. So fingers crossed, we'll see.
Fingers crossed we're not beaten up and rushed out of there. West Ham fans are a bit nutty, aren't they?
Yeah. And Mr. B won't be talking about anything moist.
Yeah. Best behaviour, you, Mr. B.
Guys, thank you so much. It's been absolutely amazing. Jay, as always, pleasure having you on. And guys, we'll be back here on Sunday for the reaction show with OS. He'll be joined with the panel. So guys, please make sure you tune in, and we also will be at the game. So guys, thank you all for your comments, liking, sharing, subscribing to us, and have a lovely evening. Thank you for watching.
Ciao.